that when I'm clearly arguing with them, I seem cocky. That's also crazy. Who in an argument with anybody wouldn't defend themselves, wouldn't say, I have a right as a human being to decide who's around me. You cannot they want to say it's social engineering. It's something worse. It's creating a chaotic environment for someone. You don't put people who don't get along together. That's simple to understand. It's crazy to think that people who don't get along together would be able to be together unless that was the plan. Do you understand? Like if the plan was to get me so upset, frustrated, wanting, they said, confrontations, arguing, making myself look nuts. They said, "Oh, there was someone that they here they are, that there are famous people who would want to help me, but I would have to sort of promote them." Do you think I'm nuts? Do you really think I'm crazy? This goes back to when they wanted me to give advice to a lawyer. That is their way of making me look cocky, or they said before, I conceited. Like I would be the person who would give advice to a lawyer. I would be the person to give advice to people who professionally promote them. But that's how I would have looked crazy. I'm not allowed, they said, I'm not allowed to just be in my apartment listening to music or just doing something. I have to always work. And that's part of the craziness. The craziness is that these people aren't working, they're harassing people. So I have to be in my apartment working. I can't get a moment's rest. So anything I do has to be productive. When I did a video when I talked about staying productive, I didn't mean it in a crazy way where you're just frantically doing things just to do things, running around like a crazy person just to do things. So they were like, well, some of the terminology, you know, when you look it up, it says the word idiom. And I think that's what they just said a moment ago. Sometimes I understand them, sometimes I don't. Is like something that we say in our environment, like growing up in the Bronx or growing up in this place or that place. You say, you know, you don't understand what I'm saying. What or like there was something else we say that's a local thing, and they were like, well, what about how this would look to people in, say, the Midwest? Well, if the people in the Midwest hear me, I think they can put it together. It would be crazy for me to think that they wouldn't want to hear my natural way of speaking. So in a video I talked about when I worked for the phone company over the phone, I said get rid of my New York accent, but make it easier because that's on a job and there are people who call up for phone service who can't understand the between the New York accent and then the idioms, and then sometimes we say things in a way that most people would say, well, that's weird. Like I looked up they keep talking about a story about how some New Yorkers say bunk instead of bump. And they said that's really a regional thing. Like we know it's bump, but sometimes if we say it quickly it sounds bunk, or some people just say bunk. Meaning these are things that if you're working on the phone with people from different places, they won't understand, they won't know what you're saying. And it's not just they said it's a professional environment. It's not just that. It's important. When I was working at the phone company in the 90s, we didn't have cell phones like we have now. That was your lifeline. That was your thing that you needed. And if you got it wrong, it's a big deal. So it's not so much like they're putting all these things together in a crazy person way. Like a video isn't the same as providing someone with phone service. So they thought that was a racial thing, meaning I was changing my accent to sound less black. No, it's about doing something the right way